I will switch to the Entra portal and create a device group so that I can assign the deployment configuration on the device group where I want the autopilot deployment to be performed. Well, for this, I have launched the entra.microsoft.com portal. In the Entra portal, I will create a group with dynamic membership of the devices. Here you know that there is a blade on left called devices. If I go to all devices, I can see all the devices which are joined to the Entra ID or registered on it. I will create a group by going to the groups and all groups. This group will be for the devices where I want to do the autopilot deployment. This is a security type of group. I will provide it a friendly name, IT devices, the group description for the reference of your colleagues or other administrators, whether the membership will be assigned or be dynamic based on the device attributes. I will go with dynamic. Will provide the rule or the expression here in which I have configured that device physical IDs, any contains this ZTD ID, which I will be using of my device. So this device will be automatically member of this IT devices group. Later, the process will be to onboard the device to the Intune. The autopilot enrollment will be or onboarding will be done. And for this, I will switch to the device and will collect the device details. Here is the device that I will be using for autopilot deployment. I will log in here. You can log in as a local administrator or the domain administrator. That's fine, because in this case it is required that we install the module related to autopilot and collect the device information and store it into a CSV so that we can onboard it into Intune. Well, this is the PowerShell I'm running as administrator. We'll increase the font size a little bit. Here we go. We'll make some room on the screen and now run the command to install a script which is get Windows Autopilot info. This script will be downloaded from PowerShell gallery. Well, I will wait for that consent to come up. Make sure when you are running the PowerShell, it's running as administrator. And as you see in this PowerShell console on top, it is mentioned as administrator. I provide my consent to use the NuGet provider to install so that I can import the modules or the scripts. I may get another consent for the repository. It is not trusted, so I trust this. This is the PowerShell gallery I'm using, and set ps repository command can be used to configure it as a trusted repository in advance. I will set the execution policy as remote signed. The execution policies control the behavior of the PowerShell, that how the scripts will be executed, be it all signed to run the digitally signed scripts or remote signed where the script running locally can be signed or not signed will be fine. I run the command of this script. The function is get Windows Autopilot info.ps1. This is the script actually and has a parameter out file, and this is the CSV that is generated. I run the type command. Basically, this is the alias. The actual command is get content. The get content command gets this content of the file. You can see that in the notepad as well. So let me open this file in notepad. You see few columns on the first line like device serial number, which is this. Then the Windows product ID is left blank. Then the hardware hash is part of it. The PowerShell script has fetched this detail and stored it into this CSV file. Now the time is to onboard this device to Intune. For that, I'm launching the Intune portal here itself. This is intune.microsoft.com. There is the global admin account, and I will authenticate and log into the Intune portal. Well, in the Intune portal, we have the autopilot related configurations. If I go to the devices, here I see the devices by platform, device onboarding, be it Windows 365 or enrollment. For autopilot, I will do the enrollment of the devices, and here we have the options for different platforms. In my case, it will be Windows. I will scroll down and will choose the Windows Autopilot device preparation and then Windows Autopilot. These are the options. I need to onboard the device, so I have the devices blade over here, which is to manage the Windows Autopilot devices. I will open this and import this CSV file here. There is no setting right now, that's fine. I will click on import and will add that CSV file which was generated with that PowerShell script downloaded from PowerShell gallery for autopilot, which has the device information. It was in the C drive, and this is computer.csv file. I will open it and will import it. This can take some time, can take up to 15 minutes. You need to wait for a while to get this information imported to the Intune. Well, I will pause the video and resume it once this import is done. Here is the import of the device that has been completed. I can see the device details here, the serial number, manufacturer, and all rest of the details that have been generated. Now I will configure the deployment profile of autopilot. So it is for Windows or HoloLens. So in my case, it is Windows BC. I will provide it a friendly name, the description, then convert all targeted devices to autopilot. I can choose the settings accordingly. The profile name is Contoso Profile 1. I'm ignoring the description in my case here, and I do not want to convert all targeted devices. This is the out-of-box experience I want to provide to the users, whether it will be user-driven or self-deploying kind of deployment. I have already discussed it in the previous video that user-driven is something where the user will have to provide some details user can choose, whereas in self-deployed it is good for kiosks or other sort of devices where human intervention is not required. I want to join the Entra ID automatically. I want the software license terms to be hidden, privacy settings to be hidden, hide change account options. So you can configure these settings accordingly. All these settings are self-explanatory. You have an exclamation mark right after the setting. You can pick these settings as per your organizational requirement. The user account type I need as a administrator account, not as a standard. Allow pre-provisioned deployment, no. Language region, it is based on the operating system defaults, or I can choose the particular language or the region as per my requirement. Then I have automatic configuration of the keyboard, then apply device name template. These are few of the settings. Well, I have configured the required settings that I need in the autopilot deployment. It is time to do the assignment to the device group that was created before a while in Entra. This group was IT devices, and I will click on select. Finally, I will go with next and review and create this profile. This is the Windows Autopilot deployment profile that will be executed on the device. Now it is time to synchronize these settings. And to synchronize these settings, either we can do it from the Intune itself, from the devices, and starting a sync. I will do the sync and then will reset this PC. Here we go, get started. I will remove everything, or I want to keep my files. Then getting the things ready. This is local reinstall or cloud download. I'll go with local reinstall in my case. Reinstall Windows from a device. Here we go, remove apps and files. These are the current settings. Reinstall the Windows from this device, and then I will continue with this window to reset this PC. Resetting the PC will be a time consuming process. It can take 15 to 20 minutes and may require a restart of your system several times. The status for preparation is 1%. The device will automatically restart as per the message you see here. The process has been started. I will be pausing and resuming the videos during the deployment so that I can optimize the time and keep the video duration short. While this status for this preparation is going on, the device will automatically restart as you see, and let us wait for few seconds for this device to be restarted. The device has been restarted. I paused the video and now it is resumed. As you see, the progress is 25%, resetting it. And again, I will be pausing the video and resuming it back once this reset is almost completed. This reset is 99% done. And now the system is restarted once again. This will load the window in the out-of-box experience mode, and as per my settings defined in the out-of-box experience, like the license terms and conditions will be hidden. Many of the things I have kept them silent so that user need not to provide many inputs. Well, the installation of this window is started, 9% done. Do not turn off your PC. This will take a while. I paused and resumed this video once again, and I'm logging in as the work account of RN, and I'm providing the credentials of this user account to log in with. This device will be enrolled to the Entra and Intune automatically with this work account, or under this account. We will validate that shortly. Well, here it is creating the profile. use Windows Hello with your account. I will do the Windows Hello setup. We'll perform the multi-factor authentication for this account and we'll set up the Windows Hello for passwordless authentications. Next, to the Authenticator app. This is Microsoft Authenticator. I will configure. Something went wrong. I will set up the method once again. I will define as the Authenticator. This Authenticator app is available as a download from Apple App Store or Google Play Store. I will scan this QR code in my Authenticator app to add this account and perform the MFA. When the account is added, I will hit the next button. It will produce a code that I need to enter on my device. Here we go. Next. Finally, the multi-factor authentication is set up. Next job will be to set up the Windows Hello. I will click on Done. This is the PIN for this device that I want to set up. Click OK. All set. We are good to go. I will click OK. Now it is time to validate that whether this device has been enrolled into Entra ID and Intune for the device configuration and security policy management. I will launch the settings app to initiate the synchronization from this work account. We'll go to the accounts on the left. Access work or school account. This device was actually a Windows 10 device in this lab environment used for the autopilot deployment, because the Windows 11 has a requirement of physical TPM that can be done on a physical device but is not suitable for this training environment, which was not a requirement in Windows 10. But the process of autopilot deployment is same in both of the operating systems, be it 10 or 11. You can follow the same process. This synchronization will take some time, and all the security policies or the configurations for the defined device groups or any assignments you have done for these device groups will be applied on this device. My next job will be to validate this on the Intune portal. I will go to this Entra. We'll see the device here. All devices. I will see that device joined to the Entra ID as per my profile, autopilot deployment profile, you remember. I configured that. So this is the desktop and this is Microsoft Entra join by Aaron. If you see this third device from top below the Seattle client 2, this device is the one that is recently deployed using autopilot and is joined to Entra ID. Well, I'll show you this attribute once again here. On the right side, you see the join type is Entra join and RN is the user. If you want to see this device enrolled in Intune, then you can switch to the Intune portal and have a look at the devices enrolled in Intune. For that, you can switch to the Intune portal. I have this Intune portal here. In the Intune portal, either you can produce the reports or I will go to the devices, and under the devices blade, I will see the Windows device that has been enrolled to Intune, and it is because the setting was already configured for auto enrollment to Intune for Entra join devices. Well, this is how we do the Windows Autopilot deployment for the Windows devices. I hope this tutorial was informative to you. Thanks for watching and do subscribe the channel for more videos on this channel. Thank you.